Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video we have all of the season 5 Thorns of Devotion artifacts. We're going to be going through their descriptions and trying to speculate which are going to be the strongest artifacts of this season. So let's go ahead and begin with the first artifact we get, which is the Sootherain Spell. This is going to have attack, HP, and vitality. It is going to be a healing-oriented artifact, kind of like the Light Call spell. So 5 seconds into a battle, and every 14 seconds after that, summons Healing Rain that will last for 5 seconds. While active, all allies recover health equal to 10% of team's attack, plus 3% of their lost health. Increases the amount of healing per second provided by Healing Rain to 11% of team's attack, and as you continue to upgrade it, it is going to further increase the amount of healing per second up to 15% of the team attack. At the plus 30 unlock, when Healing Rain is active, allies take 20% less damage and gain 30 haste. So when you look at the upgrades here, the only kind of key major upgrade is going to be that plus 30 effect. Okay, let's move on to the Bloodmoon. So Bloodmoon is going to be attack, health, and attack speed. So 2 offensive stats, but attack speed generally not the best offensive stat. This is going to be 3 seconds into a battle, and every 12 seconds thereafter summons a Bloodmoon that enhances all allies for 6 seconds. Enhanced allies grow slightly larger, gain 20% attack, 30 attack speed, and 30 life drain. Okay, this is kind of like Dragon Roar spell to an extent. However, this one also gives you attack speed, so it's kind of relying on that. And the attack bonus will increase with the upgrades. At the plus 30, the Bloodmoon confuses enemies. Casting this spell will disarm the 2 front most enemies for 3 seconds, but that would be more of a PvP application because disarm means that the characters cannot use normal attacks. They will only be able to cast skills. They will not be able to normal attack, which is, yeah, it can be problematic for some heroes. Overall, kind of like a PvP artifact, but also I think definitely will have Dream Realm usage with the attack and attack speed buffing, and yeah, really good for normal attack based damage dealers as well with the attack speed buff. Okay, next up we have Impaling Spell. This is as attack, defense penetration, 2 good offensive stats, and physical and magical defense. Every 8 seconds hurls a spear at the enemy that has taken the most cumulative damage. So in a Dream Realm boss, it would be the boss. In obviously in PvP, it would be probably the tank. The spear deals physical damage equal to 125% of team attack and inflicts laceration for 4 seconds. While lacerated, the target loses health damage per second equal to 5% of team attack and has their maximum health reduced by the same amount. So for PvP, honestly, I don't know if this is too great because it's probably going to be on the frontline tank, which you don't really need this onto. But for Dream Realm, I think HP loss damage always is something to watch out for endless bosses, and it does have 2 good offensive stats, attack and defense penetration. And when you upgrade it, it will increase the damage dealt, just the damage that the spear deals, but it won't change the laceration damage, which is going to be capped at 5% of team attack. And then plus 30, enemies are immediately defeated if the HP falls below 20% and is less than 100% of team attack. So this is going to be an execution, just like, you know, Siren, you know, Ultimate or OD, Mark, those are the executions. But this seems like it's going to be a kind of a permanent effect. Whenever the enemy is below 20% health, it's just going to pop them? Or is it that you will have to launch the spear at them while they meet this like HP ratio condition? I'm not sure about that, but either way, this is looking like potentially for endless bosses with the HP per second damage. Yeah. And honestly, maybe even for pre-endless bosses. Okay, so we have Raycage Spell. This is attack and 2 defensive stats. This is more of a defensive looking artifact. 3 seconds into a battle and every 10 seconds thereafter strikes the frontmost enemy and rearmost enemy 3 times. Each strike deals true damage equal to 20% of team attack and also blinds the targets for 3 seconds and immobilizes them for 2 seconds. Immobilized enemies cannot move or act. This is actually really strong for PvP. It's going to be a blind and immobilization. Blind for 3 seconds, immobilization for 2 seconds, and it's going to be 3 seconds into a battle, and then every 10 seconds after that. This can potentially lock down enemies in the back if they are not unaffected. However, now we have Ravion, who's going to give the rearmost heroes unaffected, and so like Ravion's going to hard counter this type of artifact effect. And increases damage dealt to 30% of team's attack whenever you deal this strike. But I mean, the damage doesn't look honestly high enough. It is true damage, but just 3 strikes of even 30% of team's attack, in total 90% of team's attack. I don't know, maybe it could be somewhat, but I don't think it's going to be enough to burst people. But it could try to like set up a kill for you to like complete your Ravrion objective or something, where you need to get a kill or assist onto maybe a backline target. And then anyway, increases the duration of blind to 5 seconds. So the 5-second blind is interesting. I definitely think blind is really where it's at. Kind of like making that backline rearmost and frontmost hero kind of useless, and then also immobilization. But overall, I'm not really convinced about this artifact. I don't think it's going to be very strong. Then we have Pactbond Spell. This is completely defensive. HP, Vitality, Haste. At the start of battle, forges a pact between all allies. Allies in the pack gain 20% maximum health and take 50% less damage, just like Guardian Spell. When an ally takes damage, 10% of the damage is shared equally among other allies. Wait, so more damage is going to be distributed, so that's kind of the drawback of this. Like, rather than 100% of damage, it's 110% of damage will be shared. When an ally receives healing, other allies recover HP equal to 20% of the original healing amount. The pack breaks when an ally is defeated. This is like really strong and crazy. I really like this Pactbond Spell. Really interesting. 50% damage reduction, 20% boosted maximum health, and then you're sharing all your damage. You're sharing or basically have some splash over healing, but it is going to end as soon as one of your allies dies. This is really, I like this one. Like, yeah, like, it's basically like Guardian Spell of the new season. And increases shared healing up to 30% of the original healing amount onto all allies. So healers are going to be really good for this comp because you're going to have that splash healing effect. And then at the start of battle, also grants the frontmost ally a shield equal to 100% of the team's attack. Kind of like a minor upgrade, but honestly, I think you really have a lot of this spell's effect, even at the base rank. So I think for PvP, this will be good. Obviously, and maybe even AFK stages. Okay, next we have Seismic Spell. Seismic Spell, attack, physical and magical defense, range defense. Kind of a defensive sort of option. At the start of battle, sends tremors through the enemy side of the battlefield, dealing magic damage equal to 30% of team attack per second for 5 seconds, probably hitting everyone, immobilizing enemies, and reducing the haste by 40. So is this immobilization going to be 5 seconds long? Is it going to be like a huge immobilization? And also reducing the haste by 40. Increases damage dealt up to 40% of team's attack per second. If there are no non-summoned allies on the... No non-summoned allies on the enemy side of the battlefield when the spell expires. Its effect is extended. No non-summon ally. Okay, so this is better if you have a ranged team. That's the whole idea. You have the range defense. You're going to have a ranged team not entering into the enemy territory. If there are no non-summon allies on the enemy side of the battlefield when the spell expires, its effect is extended for up to 20 seconds or until a non-summon ally enters the enemy side. During the extension, the spell slows enemy movement speed by 80% instead of immobilizing them. What? This is kind of like a ridiculous sounding artifact. Like, this is perfect for Kulu ranged teams, kind of. You also have that defensive range defense buff and then that attack. And then just that damage output, immobilization, haste debuff. Honestly, a pretty interesting PvP looking artifact. But of course, this is a PvP related artifact. Yeah, I like that one. Starbless Spell. So you have attack, HP, haste, 2 good offensive stats. 6 seconds into a battle, every 10 seconds thereafter, blesses the 2 allies with the highest damage dealt. That's good. Blessed allies gain 30 haste and an attack bonus equal to 25% of the other blessed allies' initial attack for 6 seconds. 25% of the other blessed allies' initial attack for 6 seconds. Okay, I mean, this is strong for a 2 damage dealer comp, buffing both of their attack by 25% and also increasing the haste. It definitely is an offensive artifact. There's no defensive stuff so far. The attack bonus will be up to 35% of the other blessed allies' initial attack. You know, this could even potentially be a Dream Realm artifact. Like, that is a pretty high attack buffing value. Also the haste as well. And then finally, when a plus 30, when a blessed ally deals damage, the other blessed ally recovers HP equal to 30% of the damage dealt. But that would be for PvP, because like in Dream Realm, at that point when we have the plus 30 unlock and win endless, we're not gonna have survival issues anyway. But for like PvP, that would be good. Then we have the Grovetrap Spell. HP, we have physical and magical, defense penetration. Oh no, okay, so it's in Chinese. We'll try to infer as much as we can. But this is overall kind of a defensive oriented artifact. So this is going to be, the fountain is summoned every time allies cast 4 ultimates. Okay, I think it's going to be probably 5 ultimate casts in order to summon some effect. And I can't infer what type of effect is from this. So we'll just pass on this one for right now. And next up we have Arrowstorm Spell, also going to be in Chinese unfortunately, but attack and attack speed, 2 offensive stats. Let's take a look. So increased damage dealt by the team and plus 30. The presence of the Archer Spirit inspires allies, causing the spell increases attack speed for all allies by 40 for 6 seconds. Okay. Definitely there is a 6-second long effect, but I don't know exactly what is happening here. So we can't really infer much more from this one. Let's go for this Phalanxrush Spell. We have attack and life drain. And health. Life drain isn't the best offensive stat. Whenever allies combined melee damage dealt reaches 550% of initial team attack, summons a Lancer Spirit that charges at the enemy, dealing physical damage equal to 60% of team attack to all enemies. Allies in his path gain 25% attack and 25% physical and magical defense for 5 seconds. So this is pretty good. It's both offensive and defensive. Attack and defense is going to be gained for 5 seconds. And whenever enough melee damage is dealt, this is probably going to be a good artifact for Perseus or other melee high damage dealer outputters, maybe even for PvP, or it could be for AFK stages as well. And then you have increased damage dealt, and allies in the Lancer Spirit's path gain 25 haste for 5 seconds, and enemies in his path are knocked down. So knocked down for the crowd control, and then also the haste buff for your allies who are hit within that Lancer basically launch. Okay, next we have Swordward Spell. Attack, vitality, so 2 defensive, 1 offensive. At the start of battle, grants the frontmost ally a shield equal to 100% of team attack for 10 seconds. The ally becomes unaffected while the shield is active. Whenever the ally loses amount of shield value equal to 100%. So unaffected. So this is our first unaffected artifact we've seen so far. And honestly, even looking at these two, even though they're in Chinese, I don't think either is providing unaffected. So it's just going to be Swordward Spell. And it's like double defensive stat distribution, 1 only offensive stat. So I've got the front, and this is frontmost, so only the frontmost will be unaffected. So there's no way to give back most unaffected than Ravion. Ravion's like the only basically unaffected granter. While the shield is active, whenever the ally loses an amount of shield value equal to 100% of initial team attack, summons a flying sword that attacks the nearest enemy, dealing physical damage equal to 70% of team attack, reducing the physical and magical defense by 20% for 5 seconds. If the shield expires, any remaining shield value is converted to charge up this spell at a 40% higher rate. And plus 3, whenever the ally assists or defeats a non-summon enemy, they regain the spell shield. So it's just making your frontline tankier. So, but this would be good for Perseus as well. Basically, a lot of things are going to be good for Perseus, because Perseus is like a high damage bruiser. And like, if you can just protect him, he is going to be impossible to kill. And the ally becomes unaffected. And yeah, this is like a frontliner buffer, but there's no buff for the backline for unaffected yet. So Ravion stocks are going to be really high. Wait. Oh, okay. Just as we were talking about Divinefavor. Now, attack and haste, 2 good offensive stats, HP. This is the last artifact, and this is going to be bless rearmost 2 allies for 12 seconds. While blessed allies become unaffected, have 30% increased attack and recover 30 energy per second. This is insane. This is actually insane. This is a really, really good buffing effect. For 12 seconds, both of the 2 rearmost allies unaffected, 30% attack, 30 recovery energy per second, and increase attack bonus by up to 40% after blessed ally casts the first ultimate, increases the damage dealt by 20% for 10 seconds. This is ridiculous. This is actually a ridiculous PvP artifact. It has like the ideal PvP distribution, attack and haste. For offensive, it has 12 seconds of 2 allies unaffected and 40% attack buff, which is massive, and 30 energy per second. And then a bonus of damage dealt after you cast your first ultimate. This is going to be a crazy artifact. This is going to be like a must-have for PvP. And honestly, even this other one, Pactbond Spell, this is like the Guardian Spell equivalent, probably slightly weaker from the wording of it, but like, not compared to Guardian Spell, but still kind of similar. So I definitely think Pactbond, Divinefavor, those are going to be 2 really strong PvP artifacts. And then the other ones will just depend on which heroes you're actually running, what type of team is for them. But anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts on all these artifacts in the comment section down below. If you know the translation for these 2, feel free to share them as well. Grovetrap Spell and the Arrowstorm Spell, those are the only ones which are not translated. unfortunately, so we couldn't get a full idea of them. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. If you're not already a member of my AFK Journey Discord server, please join that. There's a link to that in the description of this video. And also, if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Firelight store. There's a link to that in the description of this video in a pinned comment. This is the best way you can support me and also gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now.